One day, a master mechanic from Toyota's Nagoya factory stopped me mid-clean while I was working on a throttle body and said something that rewired how I think about engine maintenance. He said, "You rush, you spray, you scrub, and then you wonder why parts fail." Look, if you're still attacking your throttle body like it's a dirty frying pan, you're not cleaning it, you're accelerating wear on a precision airflow metering device. I've spent over 15 years inside modern engines, and I've seen more throttle bodies destroyed by improper cleaning than by carbon buildup itself. Today, I'm breaking down 10 Japanese techniques that go directly against what most DIY videos teach. Miss even one of these, and that cheap can of cleaner can snowball into an $800 replacement. Stay with me, because each step only works if the next one is done correctly. Hack number 1. Starting with a cold engine. Most people pop the hood on a stone-cold engine and start spraying immediately. That's the first mistake. Carbon deposits don't behave like dust, they behave like polymerized grease. When cold, surface tension increases and carbon bonds tighter to the bore and throttle plate, forcing you to scrub harder. I learned this the expensive way on a 2015 Honda Accord. Cold cleaning led to aggressive wiping, microscopic scoring of the bore, and unstable idle for weeks. Replacement cost was $340. The Japanese method is controlled thermal prep. Fully warm the engine, shut it off, and wait exactly 15 minutes. That window softens deposits without risking heat damage to sensors. Cleaning efficiency jumps roughly 70%, and you use half the chemical. But warming the engine only works if you know what surfaces are actually safe to touch. Hack number 2. Scrubbing the throttle plate coating. This is where most damage happens. People grab wire brushes or green scouring pads and go to war. The Nagoya mechanic stopped me instantly and said, "This is not cast iron. This is a calibrated component." Modern throttle plates are coated with molybdenum disulfide to reduce friction, control airflow hysteresis, and resist adhesion. Once that coating is compromised, surface energy increases and carbon sticks faster than before. I saw a Mercedes owner do a deep clean. 3 months later, buildup returned worse, idle control failed, and the coating was gone. Throttle body replacement was $890 for the part alone. Use microfiber or ultra-soft bristles only. Chemical dwell time does the work, not pressure, and that brings us to the chemical itself. Hack number 3, using the wrong type of cleaner. Throttle body cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and brake cleaner are not interchangeable, no matter what the label marketing implies. Brake cleaner is designed to strip oils and residues aggressively, and it will remove protective coatings almost instantly. I watched someone use it on a BMW X5. Within 2,000 miles, oxidation formed inside the bore, idle airflow drifted, and the unit had to be replaced. Cost was $680. Always use a cleaner explicitly marked safe for coated throttle bodies and electronic throttle control systems. That extra $3 buys chemical compatibility and controlled evaporation. But even the right cleaner becomes dangerous if you apply it the wrong way. Hack number 4, spraying directly into the throttle body. This is where DIY jobs turn into engine repairs. People spray cleaner straight into the throttle body like they're extinguishing a fire. That liquid doesn't disappear. It runs into the intake manifold, pools, and can be ingested into the combustion chamber. I diagnosed a Ford F-150 with a persistent misfire after routine cleaning. Excess solvent washed oil off the cylinder walls, increased friction, and caused light scoring. The repair exceeded $3,000 from a $10 mistake. The Japanese technique is deliberate application. Spray the cleaner onto a cloth or soft brush first, then wipe controlled areas only. It takes 30 seconds longer and eliminates solvent ingestion risk. And if you're doing that correctly, you don't need to take the whole unit off. Hack number 5, removing the throttle body unnecessarily. A lot of people assume removal equals better cleaning. In reality, about 90% of throttle bodies can and should be cleaned in place. Removal introduces gasket damage risk, debris entry, and vacuum leaks. I watched a DIYer chase a phantom vacuum leak for 3 days because he pinched a throttle body gasket on reinstallation. The Japanese approach is minimal disturbance. Clean in place using a soft toothbrush and controlled wipes. Only remove the throttle body for severe contamination, about 1 out of 20 vehicles. While cleaning in place, there's one critical area most people completely miss. Hack number 6, ignoring the idle air control passage. Everyone obsesses over the throttle plate, but idle quality is often dictated by a small hidden air bypass passage. This channel regulates idle airflow, and it's usually the most contaminated part of the system. I've seen throttle bodies that looked spotless in the main bore while the idle air passage was nearly occluded. Symptoms include rough idle, stalling at stoplights, and surging at rest. Use a small soft brush or pipe cleaner with light solvent to restore airflow. Cleaning this passage alone resolves roughly half of all idle complaints. But even perfect airflow means nothing if the ECU doesn't know what changed. Hack number 7, not performing the relearn procedure. Here's the part most people don't understand. Your engine control unit has learned the exact resting position of the throttle plate over thousands of drive cycles. When you remove carbon, you change effective airflow at idle, and the ECU has no reference for that change. This is the #1 reason cars run worse after cleaning. Idle hunting, fuel trim drift, and check engine lights follow. I watched someone clean a Nissan throttle body flawlessly and skip the relearn. He drove for 2 weeks with unstable idle before the dealer charged $120 for a 5-minute procedure. Always research your vehicle-specific throttle relearn before you start, not after.